I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. When I think back to lottery startup, I was a year and a half into my career working at the state controller's office.
You know, being a staff member at the controller's office 30 years ago, and after the legislation was enacted and before the constitutional amendment passed, the controller at the time, John Sharp, formed a startup task force.
And around that time, as the session was going on, John said to me, I need for you to start to go and pull 10 people. They're going to have their regular jobs at the controller's office, but I'm going to give you 10 people from the controller's office, different functions, and go and do some research on lotteries. So we did. Nelda was one of those people. Gary Grief was another one of those people. And we decided that we needed to kind of go out into the country and figure out what lotteries did, what we wanted, what we didn't want. And so we did that. We came up with a questionnaire. Everyone took a different state that were running lotteries at the time, and we all came back and gathered all that data.
It was very close. And Governor Richards had worked the phones and personal visits, and her charm and personality won over so many members.
The constitutional amendment passed, I think, by about 60-something%. So that's it. We were going to have a lottery.
We had a mandate of when to start. We had to start, before May of 1992, and trying to see in the future and see all the things come together that had to do that was very daunting.
The night before ticket sales started, we were at a big event center. And so we did the kickoff for the lottery and handed out free tickets and merchandise and that sort of thing. So it was amazing to be part of. And we were there late that night, and the next morning they had us there at 5:30 in the morning because they were afraid if ticket sales go on, somebody was going to win a claim.
It was really clear from the response from the business owners around the state how extremely interested they were and how excited they were to have this new product in their stores, but also the players calling in. It was the same thing. It was just this crazy level of excitement and interest in what was coming next.
When winners came in, there was news coverage about the winners. We actually rolled out a red carpet for the winners.
We had people show up with their entire family. 20 or 30 people would show up. It was a celebration, and people were excited. And back at that time, we didn't have social media. So I think people were really okay with having their 15 minutes of fame, whether that be on TV or in a newspaper story, and they were cool with doing that.
For me, I think the most memorable moment was having the opportunity to put Gary Grief in as executive director. I think for a successful business, it's all about what sort of culture you create. I could see that he would be able to create one that would just take the lottery up to the next step.
You don't have the success that we've had over the last 10, 15 years without constantly innovating and pushing ourselves forward. So I look at the past few years, and even things that we're doing differently from 3 years ago or 5 years ago, we're already finding ways to do them better and to do them more interestingly and do them more efficiently.
It's a real tension because it's a box that we're in. So to be able to fulfill the functions of a Fortune 500 level company within the confines of a Texas state agency, it's a challenge, and it's also a pleasure.
We sell tickets for almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's a lot that goes into making sure that all goes smoothly and that there's product at almost 20,000 retailers across the state.
Texas has had to take that narrow product line of draw games and scratch tickets and really work to innovate within those product lines. And so I think necessity has really driven innovation here and in a way that really sets them apart in the industry.
What we put together here, and this is what I take the most pride in, are people who find a way to get to the other side of whatever that initiative or that project is, no matter what it is.